官方的视频输出，真好。
边上这3个人真能等啊！
可能都什么表情。
You get the Metroid, and this is the best part. He's actually
又是 Amiibo 吗？
actually feels like a Metroid.
It's so cool. And he's like breaking out of this little case and everything.
软软的。
And then you also have Samus again here, but she's in her classic Metroid 2 pose, and that is just so cool. Like the amount of detail that's around her, it's so amazing.
感觉出来什么不重要吧，重要的是这个底座上面的东西才重要。
Great additions to my collection, maybe your collection.
Oh yeah, definitely my collection.
玩具厂是这样。
So we can't.
刚刚我差一点就要被骗走700块。幸好我犹豫了，我思考了。
Yes, and
before we go, we wanted to ask if Sakamoto.
这个图好土啊！怎么不会动啊？
Yes, I wanted to thank Sakamoto-san and Nintendo for relying on us to develop this new Metroid game. So thank you so much.
Yeah, 私たちもマーキュリー・スティームさんというすごくいいパートナーに巡り会えて、2D メトロイドの可能性をすごく広げることができて非常にハッピーです。
Yeah, I think we are very happy, of course, to have come, been lucky enough to team up with Mercury Steam on this project, and we really feel that the world, the potential for the
而且还是 E3 2012的图，
franchise has really just opened up for us a lot. So thank you so much.
感觉每年都一样，这图每年都不用做新的了，都一样，都一
One
样
thing I'd like to talk about today.
what is it?
永远都是任天堂。但今年其实也没有，今年感觉还是第3方比较强。
スペシャルエディションですね。
但任天堂就相对来说它短，你知道吧？
We're going to launch and put on the market a special edition for Metroid Samus Returns.
Oh, there it is. Oh, that's so pretty. So it also has on the cover
今年都差不多
the original，
其实都
pose
差不
from
多，
the
没有
Metroid
特别
2
牛逼
Return
的
of。Samus, so that's so
育碧
cool.
表现特别好，
Soundtrack there and
就是大家对他期望本来都是很低的，都看不起，
The soundtrack is
然后
actually
表
called
现很
Samus
好，
Archives. It's a music
就
CD
觉得
and
好
it
像
has
很不
about
错的样子。
25 tracks.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a collection
符
of
合
all
人们
the
期望的只有
games that have
EA
come out so far for the Metroid series
是
featuring our beloved heroine
估到
Samus,
了。
including this one. So I hope you guys really, I'm super excited for it. So I hope you guys are too, and it's a really cool treat.
Yes, thank you so much for telling us about that, Sakamoto-san. And thank you, Jose. As well.
Thank you. All right.
All right. So I think later today we're going to have a trailer.
Oh, that's right. So one more treat for you all. So those of you that have a
有一个预
Nintendo
告。
3DS at home, you're actually able to see the trailer that aired earlier today. And it actually, because you have a Nintendo 3DS, if you're able to put on the 3D functionality, you'll be able to see that 3D depth and display, and you'll just be able to see how isolated and cool and all that depth that's in Metroid. So we're really excited
这妹子有
to
推
have
特
that
吗？
available
左
for
边
you
还是右
today.
边的？
And you could download it for free on the Nintendo eShop.
Yes, and
左
thank
边
you
去
so
年
much
不是
for
被
tuning
挖
in.
出来
We're
了？
so happy to be able to show you Metroid Samus Returns.
Totally announced.
Thank you again, Sakamoto-san and Jose, for joining us and speaking with us. And please stay
上推
tuned.
特逛一
Next
圈
up,
就
we
能
have
看到
Mario
了。
plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, so don't go anywhere.
我来 look 一下。
关于这个妹子叫什么，你还不知道了吗？
直接搜 E3 任天堂啊，肯定会有人说啊。哦，搜树屋，搜树屋去了。好像没有哎。
你真丢人！
你还活着？
哼！
好像这两个妹子就去年的那两个哦。啊，好像还是那两个妹子。
有点脸盲， 说实在，左边那肯定是。
看那张去年的图。好像已经有人得到了，找到了。这个不是左边的妹子。
其实你应该别在推特弹幕问一句，
谁屌你？不可能没有人问啊！欧美人的审美左边漂亮，哎，这个就懂不了了，无法理解。
天哥还在，
天挺了，阿天，
干嘛？
哦，索尼克力量要发了个片儿呢。
哇，好像快要能搜到了。只能搜到左边这个妹子，看到有人在推特上问右边那个妹子是谁，怎么还有同人图的呀？怎么去年这个妹子还有同人图啊？天哪！
你在哪个次元搜啊？
推特啊，
推特和我们的好像都不太一样哦。
搜了一个这个图。
哇，
哎，
脏吗？
你们认认啊，原来是这样的认认哦。挖不到右边这个妹子，不存在。看看评论，不太会用推特。是这个吗？不是。没有，不找了，找不到。
Hey, welcome back to Nintendo Treehouse Live. I'm Terry, and we have Mario plus Rabbits.
哦，要展示疯兔了，牛逼啊！之前育碧发布会上那个落泪的，好像说他是那个任天堂死粉，没有想到自己有一天可以做任天堂的游戏，激动的落泪。
Sure. So, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is the game we just announced. We're super happy. We were announcing the game yesterday at the conference, and since then we started to show a bit of the gameplay.
Yep.
So we're super happy to show today more of the basics, combat basics, exploration, and so that's what we got.
不知道他这个机器人后面跟的人能不能换？
the game itself. So what happened is the rabbits have just been teleported into the kingdom.
A twisted version of the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah, and it changed completely the kingdom in itself by twisting it. So you'll have a lot of surprises and elements in the
陈星汉都摸了很多年
but
了。
basically Mario doesn't know anything about the rabbits when the game starts. So we're still at the beginning of the game here. But basically that's when things start to go a bit crazy.
你看它这个地形是那个战场的地形，但是它走到这边并没有什么战斗。 就是说，在没有战斗的时候是可以下去走的。 陈现在在做新的游戏，但做了很多年。
And everything around you is animated. Like for example, this plant, it's incredible because it's animated by hand, and it's following the music of Grant Kirkhope, which is the composer of the game. So it's one of the things that I love about this game.
It's part of things that Mr. Miyamoto, Nintendo, and us as well, Ubisoft wanted to see as well. The in terms of details, things that we wanted to play with. So yeah, let's go. And big part of the game as well is the combat itself.
And when the players see those enemy flags in front of them, they know that they are about to play in a fight.
Before we go in, actually, there is a couple interesting characters that's following Mario. let's talk about them a little bit.
Yeah, so
右边那个大胡子就是落泪猛男吧。
Played with because of the rabbits and stuff. For the characters and the heroes themselves, so we have Mario, of course. He's a true hero. He's a fighter-like character in combat as well, so he's really strong almost everywhere. But we also have Rabbit Peach. She's a hot-tempered, quite fun of Mario, but hot-tempered rabbit, and a very strong personality as well. And Rabbit Luigi, the third one, he's a wizard-like character. He's really clumsy, naive, but at the same time he's quite dangerous in combat and as the game progresses as well. So yeah, it's a nice cast, and this cast is the beginning cast. So as you'll progress into the game, you'll unlock new heroes. So you don't unlock the heroes at the beginning, you unlock them throughout the adventure.
Now, can we say what other characters there will be in the game as well?
Sure.
Absolutely.
So
the player will control 8.
是的。
We'll be able to choose between 8 heroes.
Luigi 也是一个兔子，不过好像有那个正常的版本。 可能要去拯救吧，那这个流程可能是要去拯救马里奥的这些朋友。开局一人2兔，其他全靠打。
也许马里奥就会用这个兔子他们将就。
Yeah, let's do it.
将就啊！ 将就还行，你这个将就用的绝了，觉得太麻烦，将就是吧？
反正经常会被抓走，也见不到。
那剧情好像是要拯救蘑菇王国。
telling you, you can tell him where to go, and the characters will follow. So that's a big difference between the two. And for us, it was a good match, you know, between exploration and combat in terms of the feeling we have. So let's go.
As soon as you start the combat, a fly cam is showing you the battleground, but you can always use
哇，它这个无缝战斗哎
which is a tool that will let the player observe the surrounding to decide what to do, the best move to take. And as you can see in the top right part of the screen, the mission objective it's a reach area.
这就是一个战棋游戏，就现在不知道它这个自由模式的话，看起来也不能跳，它是跟着扫地机器人走的嘛，所以应该也没有平台跳跃元素吧。要是加了平台跳跃元素的话，应该不错。但它这个游戏现在就是主推战棋，然后可以获得更多装备升级啊什么的，然后可以得到更多的玩法，然后还有掩体破坏，就场景互动这些东西。
Each heroes can perform 3 different type of action, as we are quite early in the game.
对啊，它有那个合作跳跃，可以把人弄上天。然后你看它这个掩体也是有一半防御和
characters can
完全防御
and
的
in
设
this
定
case,
跟
that
XCOM
you
是一样的。
for example, go behind the cover in order to be half protected, or
对啊
just go in front of the enemy.
So as soon as you
其
press,
实就是那种
the character moves.
很经典的
And
这样。
like David said, we can attack. But
然后就是说他把
first,
这个
the
动
movement
作
says
做的比较
itself.
有趣，你看这
You
个
can
碧
do
琪兔子
whatever you
真
want.
他妈
You can move
转，
first, attack then. It's up to
撇
you
的不行。
to decide. In fact.
You can advance towards another cover, such for example as Rabbit Luigi,
好像在
超
看
贱
镜头。
or even
刚刚
better,
路易吉
you
掏了
can
个什么东西
move
出
the
来？
cursor behind one of your teammate in order to activate what we call the team jump. And the team jump is
好像走在队友身上的话可以
expanding
起
your
飞。
area of movement, allowing you to go much further
可以把你
than
扔
your
过去。
normal area of movement.
所以说它是把跳跃元素做到了战棋模式。这个真的不会被左边打到吗？好像已经可以进入攻击状态了，进入射程。
Exactly. So basically here we just finished the movement phase, and now we can see in this fight that the enemies are positioned
真的好像 XCOM，
they call
非常远的时候都可以射击，只要能看到就能射。
But they're really they dash you.
中不中就是
So
另外
it's
一
good
回
that
事
I'm
儿
on the other side with Mario thanks to the team jump. So when you're ready, you press A, you attack, and what you may
太
have seen just
XCOM
over the enemy is the percentage hit percentage. So 100% means 100%
XCOM 里头那个
chance to
贴
hit.
脸射还
If
射
they
不
are
到，就
behind a
太
half
伪了。
cover, it
贴脸
changes.
是射
So
不
we'll see
到。
that just so you know. So I'll continue with the
有一天
the
看
attack
YY
here.
还在，
And even defeat the enemy in the
但不
process.
做声了，可
He's
能在快乐
zapped
撸
out.
撸。
And in terms of story, basically
另
they're
一
not
个
dying.
撸
They're going back
是
to the hub as white rabbits. So we're actually saving the rabbits
That's
here.
great. Then you feel good about defeating
Yeah,
these guys.
absolutely. That's the whole point because they, I don't want to spoil too much about the story, but they have been controlled by a force, and by defeating.
现在的新玩家是不是觉得战棋游戏很蠢啊？
And
不知道现在新玩家对战棋游戏是怎样的一种看法？
of the players because they will go back.
像这种从小玩战棋长大
The
的，
more you free them, the more they will build
很爽。
structure that will help the player throughout their adventure.
So we saw there Mario was attacked, but he's behind a full cover, so the enemy had 0% chance of hitting him. But the cover did take damage, I noticed. So
Exactly. So we, it's actually something really important in the combat itself. There are actually, aside one that we have later in the game, no cover that is really infinite. Like they have this amount of damage, and if they
他为什么总
get
是要
destroyed,
保
you
持
won't
这
have
个
any cover
站姿
anymore
呢？
to
太
defend
骚了
yourself.
吧！
So for example here, if I go and attack this enemy, I know I'm not gonna hit it. It's 0%
这是一
chance,
个
but
完
just
美
to
的
show
女
you
孩
the damage on the cover itself.
姿势永远
This
是
is a
关
wood
键，
cover,
背
so in
景
two
会
hits
教
it's
我
going to be destroyed. And the one you see here next to Rabbit Luigi is a brick cover. So this one is a bit more tough.
进
so
管
three hits.
道，然后可以
So
到这个区
basically,
域。
that's really important in the game itself to use this. The enemies will do it, you will do it. So
人家是
And this
女
is
孩
cool
子还
because,
行。
you can also
原来是
use
这样的
interactive
兔子。
element in the battleground, such as the
哇，它这个游戏移动方式非常
Life
丰富，
really helps you to
感觉
go
一个回合可以
other
走
places
好
where
远。
You couldn't reach just with your area of movement.
So when
就不知道
you use
敌
that
人
hacky
能不能
cam,
起飞。
spot those pipes and use that
敌人
as
应该也
a-
可以吧？
So that's why the
能起飞的话，它这个节奏就会
observation
变得
part
快很多。
and we gave this tool to
是
the player in order to
现在
really
战棋都是
study
就
if they want
比较
to
多
the
组合的这
battleground.
种，
就是往快节奏做是吗？
不分散
For you, you do have
主
to
格的那
explore
种
a bit，
就
to
单
really
纯
figure
主
out
格
that
的
turn-based
时候，
单纯走格
find
子
out
那
what
个
the
很少的，
advantages
节
you
奏太
have,
慢了。
especially in this new level and environment
Mm.
that you're encountering.
exactly here, you know, it's even
碧琪
we
被
showed some
射
gameplay
了，
yesterday at the conference. It was just a fight after. This one is
要被
before
射
the
爆
was
了。
saying we don't even have the techniques. But one thing here that is really important for us in terms of design and philosophy was you see the water. This is
有没有
creating a
远
gap.
护防御
So
系
it
统？
teaches you to use team jump a lot. But the enemies do not use team jump. Those guys are dashers. You don't have globetrotter. Globetrotter is the second archetype we have. They do team jumps. But here we really want to show the player like, hey, you can protect yourself. They will dash you eventually because they will take the pipe by the end of the map, trying to rush you. But it depends because according to where you are in the fight, we never know what the enemies can do. But they should do that in this map. because again, we wanted to teach you this is the way you can play as well. You can reach, bigger zones and reach new areas, but also you can go over gaps like water, and this is quite cool. And later in the game, you'll even have height. So if you go up there,
那下面这两个键，走和射两个模式切换。
It starts to build up, We start to put the ingredients together, and this map is 30 minutes into the game, so it's really a good map to start to get those things in.
Yeah, the players are still learning here, so it's really up to them where to move. They want to go directly against the enemy and risk
被射了还要靠着墙站。
they maybe could arrive at the objective
后接单手扶墙
or they want to take maybe
确实有点太像
route
XCOM
like the one we are taking right now, because we are moving, helping each other, using the protection of the cores.
Right, and you had mentioned earlier that the objective for this battle is really to get to the
有没有合体技
There are different battles where you actually have to defeat all the enemies.
So here it's a tricky map. Of course, we're playing, we know pretty much the map, but for the player, it's going to be a first tricky map because they could take this as, oh, we like to defeat all the enemies, but the issue is that we have a lot of the respawn, and the more you wait, the more enemies will spawn, and it's going to be very complicated. So here, it's a reach objective. You need to reach. One of your character needs to be in the zone, and this is something key for the players to do. And then we have multiple enemy objectives. We have defeat all, defeat this type of enemy, reach, escort, and those type of objectives.
你看 XCOM 不是每个人都有技能吗？
To do the right decisioning.
但是还没有展示更多的东西。
Luigi is really close now. He's not close enough because we made it
close enough to arrive at the mission objective.
有可能说技能是根据装备来决定的，不同的装备有不同的技能。现在可能是刚开始。
Yeah, Mario has never been afraid to take whatever power-ups are, available to him. So it's cool to see these new types of weapons.
他这一关是走到那个地方就算赢。
Yes, plus they are very, very light.
胜利条件是任意一个走道就赢。
突破重围。
In order to damage the enemy, but they are also a tool to create fun because you can plug additional behavior, such as you can glue an enemy on the ground. There is a particular enemy that is very powerful in using the techniques. You can freeze his face, so he cannot speak anymore. Therefore, he cannot use the techniques. There is someone very good.
所以说，刚刚只是碰到了拦路的怪。
He cannot see you and he cannot shoot at you.
战斗结束的话，就会继续往前走了。原来大地图是这样的一个模式。
遭遇战一样。
There is also propagation, so if an
就说前面有怪挡着了，干掉以后就可以解锁这个区域，然后可以进行一些简单探索，又或者是去到新的区域。那像再往前走的话，就是下一块区域了。这个地方也没有什么东西，就吃了个币。
Also, when you finish the fight, you can go back, of course, to the zone in free movement and exploration mode. All the coins that you have on your battlefield is because when you destroy covers, you gather coins as well. So even if you hit an enemy behind a cover and the cover is destroyed, it's rewarding as well for the player. So you can go back and buy better weapons thanks to coins. But if we have a few minutes, we just wanted to show something as well here. Just a quick fact, we went that way for the fight itself. But in fact, the most effective way, let's say advanced way, would have been to go that way. Even if it's dangerous, the first round you get, dash and stuff. Second round, you really dash the enemy well. So a good strategy would be to put Mario on the right side. He's a good damage output in terms of his weapon. Rabbit Luigi is not really good with his weapon, but he's good with dashing. So you can put it in the front line, and then you go really quickly to the zone here. So, yeah, we just revealed something for people who will play. They know how to play the map now. But yeah, it's up to the player to decide. They can go front or to left, right, whatever they have in mind, they can go for it. Depends on the play style itself.
Because a good tactical game should give the player the choice to choose their strategy. So not only in terms of how you want to customize your character, how which kind of
欢迎来
weapon you
到
want them to be equipped
魔
with,
力
but
HD
also
微听众是什么？
plan that you want to take into the battle.
魔力
刷太快看不清。
ASMR 吧，我
We
看
didn't
像是。
want for the battles to have only one possible solution.
广告在刷
but
什么
multiple.
东西？好神秘。
So, let's go to the Peach Castle to show the hub itself.
Yeah, let's take a look.
We didn't present it yet, although it's a big part of the game, of course.
说欢迎来到某某某等候室，然后你在这儿享受，我们可以帮助你睡眠。
Of course, it's a Peach Castle. It was not destroyed by the arrival of the rabbits, so thank God. This is good.
哦，知
But
道
the。issue, or let's say the challenge for Peach
帮助你睡
as a
眠。
princess as
其实他
well
在
is
刷
that
梗，
the
不是
castle
广
will
告。
evolve as the game progresses. So
是吗
as you progress, you'll see more
那这个 New
stuff
HD
built
到
by
底
the
是什么游
rabbits
戏？
a bit randomly, or not
不知道
randomly like this one.
这
Ballot
进
you
HD 到底是
to
指什
change
么
your
东西？不
team,
知道，
change your weapons, change your skills in the skill tree.
不懂外国。
Access new worlds. So
World
this one
one.
is the first one, Ancient Gardens. And you also have many puzzles around that you have
好
to
像
solve.
会有很多个世界，
And as you finish a world, you get new contextual actions and
不同
information
环
as
境。
well, so you can progress and see other
这
places
应该是
that
第一
you
个大
couldn't
陆
go
吧？
before. So this is key as well for the player to, go back to the hub and see what they could do now that have
一
new
群人 开始
abilities.
刷这个马里
So
奥的
yeah,
跑
this
步
hub
姿势。
will evolve throughout the game. And
这个跑步姿
we
势
won't be
非
able
常
to
的拉路
show
托啊
today,！the other worlds.
是，一堆外国佬
As
在
soon as
刷
you。finish a world, you can access the new one with this new ability, and the cannon takes you and then shoot you in the world itself. And we just saw an example here of a little puzzle that we have with the red coins that we have in the game as well. So we have yellow coins, red coins, blue coins as well in the bug zones.
圣斗士
Museum where
也
you
是这
get
个
all
跑
the
法是吗？
collectibles from the game.
是
You can gather in the game. This one is still
张开自己
broken
的双臂
when，you're at that moment in the game, but it's the washing time
逆
machine.
风奔跑。
That's what they use to come in the world itself of Mario, and it will be useful in the future. You can go back and revisit and get better scores in all the fights that you've done, and also other elements that here are
我操，
teasing
像这个《异度之刃2》的
that the
红
player
妹
will
子啊，
discover.
非常的
New worlds
挺
here,
拔
etc.,
惊
etc. So
了
that's，really
好像都是挺拔
an
选手。
important part of the
天
game as
哪！
well. This hub and how it will evolve with the game itself.
And I do remember that the hub was one of the first things that we decided to do within the game, like really a point of contact for the player to,
哦，我
to
懂他在刷什
really
么。
help me.
他们就是说现在这个太无聊了，然后
And
我想
I
看
remember when
想看大乱斗，
we
想看。
were told that we were about to work with Nintendo on a game that was featuring both Mario and the
看这个《异度之刃
rabbits,
2》的官方截图
and
还
we
挺美的。
immediately understood that it was a lifetime opportunity. We
他这个
worked
男
really
主不管到哪里啊，
night
都要
and
带着那个
day
妹
in order
子，
to find
带着自己
something
的剑。
unique for the rabbits,
这个
but,
故事
as
啊
well for，Mario.
特别的熟悉
So。as we are huge tactical fan, we say, okay,
是
we should
要
use
战
them
斗
to propose
就把
something
手
fresh, something new
放到妹子的
in the
胸口。
turn-based combat games.
一种
But
强
at
烈
the
的即
same
视
time,
感。
we wanted to stay
是
true to the Mario universe.
后面是不是还要
Therefore,
断
we
手啊？
decided
日版的
to
配
mix
音是不
those
是那个
two
人啊？
different phases, but in a seamless way, like the combat and adventure.
做戏做全套
And,
啊！
at the end, when we felt that we had a solid idea, we
妹
decided
子
to
是
meet
剑的
with
电
Nintendo.
池
And I，
异度
remember
水
that
下
we
分
had
析过
only
这样。
3 weeks and a half. It was crazy to remember. To really
怎么
prepare
充电
something.
呢？
And when I finally met Mr. Miyamoto,
锻
I
炼
felt
身体
like
吧。
he's the creator of my
生物电
favorite
啊！
game. It's the inspiration of my career as a
Yeah.
game designer. And I felt like if I was divided like in two. So the passionate Nintendo player and the Ubisoft creative director, the urgency to ask for an autograph and the responsibility to present the game the most professional way.
Sure.
But at the end, the effort paid off because he said he told
哎，
me
这个
that
红
he
妹
was
真美
impressed
呀！
and
天哪，
keep asking how come
这
that
个
we
人
had
设太
Mario
到
and
位
Luigi
了。
in our prototype. But the truth is that even if we spent we had only 3 weeks and a half to work on the prototype, we recreated Mario and Luigi from scratch, the model, the animation, the rig, in order to try to translate their essence in our prototype. And I guess I
让
think
我
that
看看，
this is
我看
was
怎么
the
样把
moment
图撸
where
过
we
来。
truly convinced Nintendo about our commitment and passion. So from that moment on, we kept meeting with them in Kyoto. It was an incredible journey, and Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle become really a work of love, a labor of love.
That's such an amazing story.
Yeah, I think you guys have a lot to be proud of, and I know that Mr. Miyamoto, he's hard to impress, and you guys have worked really hard, and I'm super proud of what you guys have come up with. I can't wait to play the full game.
And it's just beautiful looking with
Yeah.
all the graphics and the different tactical style, but also the
是没打武
exploration
器
of
对
the
应一个
game.
妹子
It's
吗？
a new style that we never really encountered before. So
We didn't sleep a lot these past
我
months.
说的
and
是
years,
马里
but,
奥。
we're super happy to be here and talk about the
原来
game.
如此。
It feels great.
我在
Like,
很认真地
we
看
were
马里奥。
almost like in the cave, walking
基皇怎么
working in this game, and
都是
I
些
think for the
坏
team, the
心
whole
思
team,
啊
that！team,
一
all
天
this
到
team
晚
was
想些什
to
么
be
的
here？today to talk about the game,
想
show
法
the
很
game.
大
Finally, it's just
肮
super
脏
exciting.
肮脏，
Yesterday press conference
太肮
was,
脏了。
Yeah, it went very
少
well. And
取
the
关尾
emotions
篇，
we
你
had
就会
on,
变得正常。
It was great, and I think
好体罚呀！天
now
哪
seeing the game like that, it's
是啊
just incredible.
这可不是开玩笑的。
Awesome. Thank you so
Thanks
much
a lot.
guys
这个
for
人是
coming. So this was Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and then up next we have Fire Emblem Warriors. Stay tuned for more.
这个是《异度之刃2》的女主吧？还会动，还会有物理效果，做的很真实。对，是不是光荣给予了一定的技术支持？哎，这个游戏不得了。
不得了，不得了！
你看这一回，是不是和光荣合作做了一个火纹无双？拿到技术也很正常。
马上使用。
是啊，说的再多不如实际运用。这个人设啊，我给10分。
有没有卡比的演示？
我去上个厕所。哎，是不是该歇了？刚刚好像说看完这个就歇了，是吗？
也许吧。
先看一下下一个是什么，不好的话就歇了。
早期这个直软材质做的真不错。
下一个是火纹吗？该歇了。怎么突然切 BGM 啊？尾天还在的，该给他看一看《罪恶的异度之刃2》了。操，头太大了。你们别发呀，让尾天回答。这 BGM 怎么那么耳熟啊？尾天沉默了。
他可能只是没有看到。
今天晚上会不会这个女主啊就会出现一些同人爱好者的作品？
那你取关了尾天也没起到作用啊。
没那么快吧？
等会儿应该去搜索一下，搜索《异度之刃2》。
Hi everybody, welcome back to Nintendo Treehouse Live at E3 2017. I'm up here with Matt, Audrey, and Mr. Hayashi from Koei Tecmo, and Owen translating. We're here to give you a look at Fire Emblem Warriors. I want to warn you, it's a very chaotic game, and so Audrey will not be playing while she speaks. That's why we've got Matt up here with us. He won't be saying a whole lot, but I hope you chime in with a little bit of your strategic decision-making.
I'll try.
As we're going. So anyway, take it away.
Matthew has a wonderful personality. You won't be hearing much of it though. Sorry about that. So we're going to jump right in. As Rich said, we're taking a look at Fire Emblem Warriors. Now, this is an action adventure that has warrior-style gameplay, but featuring Fire Emblem heroes.
这无双好土啊，太无双了。
In a brand new kingdom, and we're actually going to be first playing the stage that we're playing on.
放出画面的一瞬间，就已经看穿这个游戏的本质。
And one of those is this spunky
熟悉的味道，
Liana.
太熟悉了。
She's a new hero, right?
She's a brand new character added just to this game, and she's the twin sister of Rowan, who you can play as on the show floor. Hi, Xander. Hello. We'll get to Xander in a bit.
Destiny Warrior.
Yes, but while we have Hayashi-san here, perhaps you could tell us a little bit about how the idea came about to create a warrior-style game.
怎么突然暂停的？
我々ゼルダ無双も開発してたんですけども、ゼルダ無双のハイラルウォリアーズレジェンズの時に3DS で下画面でプレイアブルキャラクターをこうリアルタイムに切り替えるっていう遊びを入れたんですね。でこれを入れた時にやっぱりファイアーエンブレムの伝統的な3ステージの遊びとこのキャラクターを切り替える無双っていうのは多分すごく相性のいい面白いゲームになるんじゃないかなということで
感觉这么像三国无双啊，这个敌人的造型。
ぜひ次このファイアーエンブレム無双を作りましょうっていうお話をさせていただいて、今回こうやって実現した。
换套西式盔甲就是。
So as you may know,
换套西式盔甲，拿
Hyrule
把剑。
Warriors, and in Hyrule Warriors Legends,
这样看的话。 不过它这个可能也没有说用到新的一些技术去做，还是原先的模板直接套用，所以不知道三国无双8出来会怎样。现在完全看不出有在使用新技术的样子。
to work on a Fire Emblem
themed Warriors games.
Hey, thank you. And as we just saw, Prince Marth showed up.
Hey there.
张的脸好嫩啊
From the very first Fire Emblem game, or from Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon
on the Nintendo DS,
DS. And he shows up all around.
He's a busy man.
He is. But we're not going to give away anything about story here, but you will see a bunch of different Fire Emblem heroes and villains showing up, and you may just have to battle some of them.
It'll all make sense when you're playing.
It'll make sense when you play.
Don't fret.
But as you just saw, there was a stun gauge over one of those enemies, and Matthew I was actually able to whittle it all the way down, which allowed him to unleash a really epic critical hit on them, which did a great amount of damage.
搜一个高清的
I love all of the nods to the Fire Emblem franchise that we're seeing in here, including the critical hit that you just saw with like the facial animation going across the screen.
Absolutely, and speaking of, we've got these little sprites on a grid-based map. That's a little bit familiar to Fire Emblem fans, and it also brings me to something else that we're showing exclusively here on Nintendo Treehouse Live, which is the ability to give commands. Now, this is extremely useful. You can actually select any of the units that you're in control of and send them anywhere you want. You can deploy them to an enemy base. You can send them to fight a different enemy. You can do whatever you want to help you maintain control of the map. And this is really key, and helping you win, because as you said, it can get quite chaotic. And as you saw, Matthew just switched to Crom, which is always a good decision. But with the touch of a button, you can switch between the characters you're in control of. So if you place them at different points on the map, then you can just switch between them, and then you're suddenly halfway across the map. It's very useful.
Crom versus Marth seems so weird. They're basically using different iterations of the same sword, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legendary sword facing off against itself. And I love these special attacks here. They're really dynamic, and they really bring to life the characters that we know and love from the Fire Emblem franchise. And as Matthew is kind of mowing down these enemies here and trying to defeat all of the enemy captains on the map, Hayashi-san, perhaps you could tell us a little bit about the battle system in Fire Emblem Warriors and how it differs from other Warriors games.
はい、今回ファイアーエンブレム無双はですね、無双の気持ちいい意気投合の爽快感っていうのはもちろんなんですけども、そのファイアーエンブレムの持つシミュレーション要素っていうのをこの無双に落とし込んでいて、今マップにあるように3組によってこの得意不得意が一目瞭然出ますし、それ以外にも今キャラクターをダブルっていうことで何をくっつけたりっていうような要素も覚醒の要素からインスパイアを受けて作っているものです。そういう意味で戦略性のあるファイア無双ゲームとしてこのファイアーエンブレム無双は形にしています。はい。
So this game has a lot of the game elements that you'd be familiar from other Warriors games, like, you know, really over-the-top action and kind of the thrill of taking on hordes of enemies. But it combines that with the RPG simulation elements from Fire Emblem games. For example, the weapons triangle, and also being able to pair up with characters is something that was inspired by Awakening. So we have really the strategic elements of Fire Emblem combined with the thrill of playing a Warriors game.
Absolutely, and there are just all kinds of little touches that I think Fire Emblem fans will especially really appreciate. You mentioned the weapons triangle, and anyone who's played Fire Emblem knows the weapons triangle quite intimately, and it's in full effect in this game. And things like pairing up. If you pair up two of your units, then you can do things like dual attacks or dual guards, and you can even have them jump in and help each other during their special attacks, which isn't only helpful, it looks really cool.
I think the animations for this game are part of what I love so much about it. Watching all the characters pulling off their critical attacks, like right now.
Corn's going nuts
that
here.
is insane. And it's not done yet.
No, she's just getting started. Yes.
看完这个姑娘就关掉了。
Thank you, Corn. Oh no, you made her mad. This one's really cool.
变成龙马了。
We both are momentarily struck numb by the
I know.
beauty of that attack.
And really, the characters is one of the biggest parts that fans love about the Fire Emblem series. And not only do we get to see a great variety of them and a brand new kingdom and a brand new story, but we get to play in a different type of gameplay than we usually do for Fire Emblem heroes. So that's really neat. And also just seeing them rendered in beautiful HD in these brand new scenarios is just really something else.
And having all of these characters brought together in one game provides us with some unique opportunities as well. You get to see characters
when it's up, you run faster, but you take the chance of good luck, and you don't look as cool. You don't look as everyone knows sunglasses make you look cool.
Don't look nearly as cool.
Now we've got the Mario hat now has eyes. Is there a sort of narrative behind that? Is it a living thing? Can it speak?
His name is Cappy.
Okay.
It's a little bit different behind it. Essentially, they wanted to give Mario someone to go on his adventure with, so he's not just on his own. Hence Cappy. But we don't know the whole story behind who is Cappy, what is Cappy, and how it all ties into the main story. Nothing to say at this time. Not yet.
We'll see, because I don't see a mouth, I see eyes. Super Mario Odyssey is by far my most anticipated Switch game, I think. Many people. What sort of secrets can people look forward to finding on the show floor?
Oh, geez.
Without spoiling too much.
Without spoiling anything. I mean, Daniel played it a bit too, but it's a demo you get to play, and we already had people who've been trying to play through the demo, and they played through like 20, 30 times, and they haven't found everything.
I can nowhere close to any of this stuff.
It helps a little bit. I think that we have a little bit. The timer's not fully running, so there's a little bit of a difference there.
Seeing this is just surreal. There are moments where you're like, I don't even know if this is a Mario game or not. There's just so much insane.
I think the T-Rex is that because it's like a realistic T-Rex. It's not in the Mario art style, and I like that idea that he's traveling so far from his like comfort zone, his home world.
Yes.
And I think that's
and it was weird because when you see the intro to that trailer, at first you're like, why is there a T-Rex? And then all of a sudden it turns around and has a little mustache, and Cappy's on top at the same time. So it's really interesting to see all the different characters will have the opportunity to take over and capture, like the Goombas, the Koopas, all those, the Bills, and see how that all breaks down.
All right, well, Super Mario Odyssey is out this fall?
Yes.
Yep. October?
Yes.
Yes. Do we have a day in October?
I think it is this fall. It is this fall. I don't
this fall.
Exact
We'll figure it out.
I'll give you the exact
it's also on the show floor right now, so if you're here, you can play it. Coming up next, we've got a special edition of Game Scoop Live at E3 in just a minute, so stay tuned.
没了，刚切过来就没了。
IGN Live at E3 2017 is presented by Atomic Blonde. In theaters July 28th. Catch an early screening on June 13th.
我们看这个吧，这都没什么意思。看高清版的。
Story goes that when the world was young, everyone in Alrest lived on the World Tree, together with our Divine Father, the Architect. They called that paradise Elysium.
没有日配的吧？现在啊。 有吗？寻觅一下。还有一个索尼克 Force。 是不是要去任天堂日本看？找到了。
この世界ができる遥かな昔、人は世界樹の上に住む創世の神と共に暮らしていたという。人はそこを楽園と呼んでいた。
到位。
ブ
レイド，李斯剑。
天の聖杯のドライバーとして、私を楽園に連れて行って。
いいよ。
哇！
行こう。楽園へ。俺がホムラを連れて行ってやる。
我操，两个人一起持剑，绝了！我操，那直在边上补魔啊，这根线。
ドライバー？レックスが？ドライバーとブレイドは一心同体。
なら見せてやるよ。俺と
两个人是一体的。
お前はここまで来てしまった。引き返すことは許さん。小僧、その剣まさか。
妹子也可以自己用剑的。
楽園を。
それが私たちの望みです。
男主的主要意义说明就是把剑拔出来呀。
ホムラとかいうブレイドのものあれはただの炎ではない。
どうしたどうした。天の聖杯じゃないのか。
私は使わない。あなたにも使わせない。
お前がそれを望むのならば、言葉ではなく自らの力で示してみせろ。みんな行けよ。
我操，真他妈牛逼！还有什么？好像没有什么了。还在无双，
爽哦！
Yeah, we need to take a moment to appreciate the horse here. The horse might be the hero of the whole game. He's fantastic.
这个骑马也是完全一致。
He gets right in the thick of it. This horse is really a champion for everyone.
Are you saying Xander's overrated?
No, I would never say that. I'm just saying that the horse is right up to his level.
Equals,
yes.
partners.
Just below him.
今回 E3 ではこ
の感觉
英雄たち
这张脸特别的女性化。
もっともっと実はプレイアブルキャラクターいっぱいいますんで、もっともっとお気に入りの男性が登場する。
要么就是大叔，要么就是这种。
So, as you can see, we've seen tons of great Fire Emblem characters in this version of the game, but there will be lots and lots of other characters that we'll be revealing. So I'm sure there'll be some other handsome guys in there that you might be interested in, Audrey, as well. Yeah.
Possibly. Thank you.
More husbands for Audrey.
Yay! Just what I need.
で、しかも今回皆さんやっぱフルボイスっていうことを非常に今回大事に作ってまして、
这个马的移动，
見ていただく通りもうとにかくいろんなプレイヤーがずっといろいろしゃべりするようなそんな
这是马吗？
好像之前没有这样的动作，这好像是新的吧？这马会学转，他妈都上天了。
这是马吗？
这游戏原来是有些东西的牛逼耶！
你别出手，让我来。
这个人是不是人和马是一体的呀？他这个马不是那种坐骑吧？这本来就是个人马吧？
还能侧移的。
一直都可以侧
呀，
这么神秘。
所以他可以跳跃，你看到没有？他就是一个人马，不是步兵，怪不得动作这么神秘。
the game is
他是长
voiced
在
like
马
it
上
might be in
的
Echoes, but this
是
is
的，被粘住了。
人马一体。
You know the characters that you've seen in movies from past Fire Emblem games, but
但
then
这种
make
骑
them
兵角
playable
色其
within
实还
the
是
game. So
有点意
that's
思啊，
really kind of a
很少
special thing
见。
that we're doing here with the game. So we thought that it would really make sense. The only way to kind
一
of
开始还以为是骑这个坐骑，
add voice to their actions during the game.
粘住怎么拉？马拉呀，又不用人拉。
That's true. Plowed right through them. And the voice isn't just like flavor; it also provides you with a lot of in-game instruction about where your weak areas are on the map and where soldiers need, or where your characters need to be deployed. So it works across the board to bring people into the Fire Emblem experience.
It really does. And now something terrible and wonderful is happening. Crom has showed up, and it's husband versus husband. I don't know who to cheer for.
It's okay. Let
奥德赛的
the
封
battle
面
decide.
公布
Yes.
了，
Whoever is more worthy of
马
your
里奥
affections
飞
wins.
帽。
Oh God. Matthew, you fiend. What are you doing?
Didn't set this up.
This is all you're doing. All right, fight wisely.
Yeah, there's no winning for you. There's no winning for me, actually. You could pull it off. Yeah, give him some space, Matthew. For God's sake.
Oh gosh.
Oh, poor Crom.
Crom stands alone as his soldiers are run down. He's taking the patient approach, luring him out, and there it is.
It's hard to watch. Maybe they're sparring, and they're gonna be best friends.
Afterwards.
气垫传世移动。
Together they fight crime.
Yes, it could happen.
哇，好厉害呀！
You know, that's gonna hurt tomorrow.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, and there's Xander's special attack.
This won't do him in, but it's gonna sting.
Yeah. It's not as special when it's against Crom.
这几个人是不是觉得这个动作很好玩，疯狂的这么干？
And now we have Rowan showing up, and this is the
不然聊什么？
brother of Liana, who we saw
没
earlier.
玩过吧？
There it is. That means that Crom is no longer fighting alone.
Xander's pretty powerful, though, so
Yeah.
we'll see if even the two of them can manage.
We'll see what Matt's strategy is here too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just to start murdering them. His
Yeah,
strategy is to murder.
That's a sound strategy, actually.
There it is.
And I also want to point out that in Coliseum mode, you can actually play as different Fire Emblem characters and go to different stages, but I think I'm pretty set on storming Hoshido Castle as Xander. That works for me.
说真，这个骑兵有点
So we're
炫
just
酷
seeing
哦，
a little slice of the content, but it goes much deeper than
就是
that.
人和马粘的好紧好紧。
就是那个空中那个翻滚。
对对对，就是说你被击飞了以后，那马和人还是粘在一起旋转的，太逗了。
干嘛？怎么还能轴心旋转？超级霸王电影蛋啊！
就是不懂为什么能粘得这么紧，太屌。
That horse is amazing.
See if we can get a couple of pirouette kicks in. Oh,
阿妹子还行。
He's got both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not going to go well for
He
either
actually
of them.
got their stun gauges down and then did his special attack, which was a really sound strategy.
That you wish he wasn't using.
I wish he wasn't doing it.
Okay, so he doesn't have much left to him, and that took care of him.
Yeah, did he level up on Crom?
No, that was
Okay.
I think that was Rowan who leveled up.
Because that would have been rude.
Yeah.
Crom is still here. But
Crom will die a dignified death.
Crom's tired. Crom's gonna
这
go
个
nap
人
now.
这个是
Don't
人
worry
物
about
在
it.
火纹里就没下过吧？原来是这样，可能真的是人马。
The decision is made.
There's the no.
You have to live with it.
I don't have to live
什么
with
职位？
anything.
圣骑啊！
So we're just waiting for the gates to crack open now.
Yep, and then we're gonna have more Fire Emblem heroes to rip our hearts out. I mean, to battle. But really, that's one of the joys of this game, is that we see all of these characters that we love from previous Fire Emblem games, and we get to see them
龙妹来了。
interact in new, wonderfully painful ways.
Now we've got Korin here defending Hoshido Castle.
Yeah, Korin showed up. For anybody who played Fire Emblem Fates, Korin is Xander's... Let's go with sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say sister.
Just to summarize.
Yes. They're really pretty upbeat, considering they're fighting to the death.
Fighting to the nap. Fighting.
Yeah, fighting to the nap.
Yeah.
怎么粘住呢？这次
I love how even as Xander is basically trying to wreck house on Corrin, he's still giving pointers and trying to be the tutor here.
Very, very big brotherly.
Absolutely.
I noticed that Xander is shielding or blocking from time to time. The horse is just shaking it all off. The horse doesn't care.
I told you, this horse is a beast. This horse is going to save everyone.
I've already got Corrin down to less than half.
Yeah.
It's making short work of her.
That's what you get for choosing
这吐槽太逗了，我要死了。
She's got a little support.
And now we have
他到底
Rihanna
是
showing up.
用剑在嘟人，还
Don't
是
tell
用
her
马
what
在
happened to
撞人？
Rowan. She might not be happy about it.
I love these character introduction scenes as well.
Yeah, all of the character introductions, their animations, their special attacks, are just so much effort.
好想拥有一匹这样的马，
them.
无敌呀！
Oh,
拯救一切。
都省了。
Oh wait, okay. I thought they were pushing Xander back for a bit, but he's rallied.
It's really rough to be a red shirt here in Hoshido Castle.
SE 有东西吗？
They're complaining to wardrobe right now.
不知道 IGN 这边会不会
I
播
told you I wanted the blue shirt.
？IGN 我还开着呢。
Oh, look at this beautiful leaf. Don't you love nature, Rich?
Ryoma hates leaves.
Ryoma, why
应该
would
是
you
看
do
退
that?
官方那个频道吧。
That's just awful.
He just hates raking.
He really does. So now, the crown prince of Hoshido, who hates leaves and nature, has just showed up, and Xander's gonna make him cry. Go make him cry, Matthew.
SE 有菲菲
I'm not
14
Matthew's
了，
boss, but I'm
好
acting
激
like it.
动
Go
啊！
kill things.
Kill in my name.
Yes.
Just happens to coincide with what I'm doing already. So.
Good. Yeah, make sure he feels it. No quick death. No honor for him.
I'm sure. And blah, blah.
Yeah, this game makes me feel like a bad
They
person,
claim
but
to
in the
be our
best of ways.
saviors. But Humanix is an enemy.
Now we have the legendary Blade Siegfried.
So many legends.
So many legendary
So many blades.
Yes. Oh, sorry, Liana. That's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt worse in a few minutes.
有个游戏叫屎该当死。
So we only have a few minutes, and we must make Ryoma suffer. So make him suffer, please.
Yeah, the question is, can we cause enough suffering to Ryoma? By we, I mean Matt.
Yes.
Before we have to move on.
I think it's a team effort. I feel like we're channeling our positive vibes his way.
We're all doing it.
Yes.
We're all winning today.
I'm ready. I'm prepared. I love how the enemies drop money too. Like, they don't need that anymore. Take that off your hands.
That'll do it.
Yes.
Nice.
SE 这好像只有几千个人在等待。
We didn't get to see him fall, but I'm sure it was glorious.
There's nothing more shameful than an off-screen death.
Perfect.
IGN 这边好像有圣歌的，
Yeah, the hero of everything.
这是之前演示过的吗？好像是。
Husband victorious.
Yay. Score 1 for Husbando. All right, now that's all of the gameplay that we have to show off today, but we have a little something special that I can't quite reach.
All right.
Maybe
Give you a
Rich can
hand
reach
here.
them.
Just cover it up. So,
Shall I reveal these?
Secrets are happening.
All right, behind this hand here, we have a couple of secrets happening, and that is 2 new Fire Emblem amiibo, which are right here.
Ta-da.
We have Crom, who I'm just gonna hold a little, and Tiki. Now, these are brand new Fire Emblem amiibo, and just like all Fire Emblem amiibo, they will actually be compatible
这个也有
with
amiibo
Fire
啊。
Emblem Warriors. We're not going to talk about what they can do, but all you need to know is that look how cool they are, and they're
Love the
compatible.
cape.
Yes, that cape is pretty
好
special.
土啊！
Yeah.
And so, yeah, thank you so much for joining us today, Hayashi-san. And do you have any final words that you'd like to say to our audience?
はい、ファイアーエンブレムウォリアーズは、ここに出てるようなプレイブルキャラクター今回紹介させていただきましたけども、まだまだプレイブルまだ
Amiibo 是可以扫了以后得到一些物品，主要还是卖这个玩具。你中意这个造型你就买。
これからも続行を楽しみにしててください。はい、よろしくお願いします。
So in Fire Emblem Warriors, you've seen just a small selection of some of the characters that are going to be available in full game. So we'll definitely be announcing more characters that are going to be in the game coming up. And some people said, oh, they're only sword users that we've revealed so far, but there are all kinds of other characters that are coming. So we really hope that you're going to enjoy the game.
Great. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you, Matthew, for destroying Ryoma. Thank you, Rich and Owen. Thank you, Rob and Xander, and thank you, everyone, for watching. This has been Nintendo Treehouse Live at E3, and we've got some more great content coming up soon, so please stay tuned.
什么东西卡住了？
把这个声音关掉。
哇，现场人突然爆多。
刚之前没有放人进来吧？现在才放人进来。
之前
都是关系户。
这应该很离散。
And then closing off day 2, we've got the Final Fantasy 14 or 15 universe.
Keeps expanding.
It keeps
expanding. I've been seeing. I saw they were practicing yesterday. It's like a ton of stuff still being added on after the game's out. New DLC. I think the VR thing. A whole bunch of stuff. So you'll get to see a lot all about that.
Fishing VR.
Fishing VR. Yes. So people are waiting for Fishing VR. We're coming out ahead.
Fishing VR.
And that'll wrap up day 2. And then day 3, we're coming back to Dissidia. Final Fantasy NT.
还是跟去年一样疯狂尬聊。
洗剪吹30周年不是就有什么东西啊？今年好像出了个纷争，出了飞飞14新的东西，还有一个飞讯 VR。
And then we've got more more mobile stuff for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. There's going to be a special announcement from the producers. Following that, our end of day, basically, day 3 is going to be a lot of my ugly mug. We're going to be doing a bunch of live streams, in particular 4 live streams.
哇，实况原来有出2018呀，惊了！
The Zodiac Age live stream. We'll be playing the
吃惊了。
And at the end
可乐美今天还在做游
we'll
戏。
be doing an unboxing of the collector's edition.
That stuff looks good.
Yeah, it's.
We showed it last year, I think. It was little busts.
Just a little bust, but we have a
we have like
full
in-person. We have it right
box
here.
ready to go to unbox in front of you guys, so that's going to be really exciting. After that, we're going to be doing another racing game, or racing games actually. We've got Milestones, MotoGP, and MXGP3 that we'll be showcasing you guys.
We'll see how terrible Eric is at playing.
Oh god, actually I'm not gonna play because we've got a guest. His name's Rick Malambre. He's much better at racing games. I'm just gonna talk about the games, like, just to give you guys a quick overview.
You don't have to see him like run off the track.
我来看现在退去官方频道有没有在做什么东西。
Yeah, just to show you guys how to play as a fully casual. And then.
Oh yeah, and then after that, our good old merchandise, Maven of Merchandise,
下个好像是外星人。
Richard Brady. They're going to be talking about the new Final Fantasy.
外星人是不是上来卖笔记本啊？
It's been super hot. We can't keep it in stock. They're going to give you a rundown on how the game is played, some of the cards, functions, and any upcoming things you should
下一
be
个
aware
是，
of.
然后之后是任天堂麦块的故事版废渣7。
You got 3 more. We got the near in concert.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't get a chance to take a look at this thing. What do we got?
Either. Near in concert, I believe.
为什么 SE 这个还不开始啊？是不是要3点钟开始
Kind of what we've had in previous years, where we're kind of giving people a peek who weren't able to go there.
SE 的就是疯狂尬聊，
This will give you
什么都没有，
太土了，
就是尬
as
聊。
close as you can be, and to let you know when
其实已经
soundtrack
开
coming
始
out, how
了
you can purchase
是的，
it.
已经开始。
A lot of people have been hyped for that soundtrack, so I dig it too. I mean, we've got some of it rolling in our breaks too.
Yeah, we're really hyped for anything.
所以说开始就是吹逼是吗？
Which leads into the next stream. It's going to be a live stream actually. We entitled it the Nier Automata Emil's Entertaining E3 Extravaganza.
Too many E's.
Not enough E's actually.
Not enough.
去年不记得了
This one I think is going to be
SE 只有
可能
2
中间有一些变化的，就是会换几个人上来聊。
Playing a challenge. We'll talk about it later.
那还挺好
It's
嘛。
going to be a secret. It's going to be challenging. It'll be a shocking stream to say the least.
Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Wink, wink, nod, nod. And to close off E3 2017, we figured let's just sit back and play a casual mobile game.
You know, we wanna just be there, just ride it out.
We're gonna ride it out. So for the last hour, we're gonna be using my account for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, and we're gonna be trying the Titan Trial.
That's right, the new stuff.
The new stuff. It came out about a week ago. This is gonna be the last day of the event, and it's tough. So I say casual very lightly.
There you go. It might be a little more pro.
We'll see.
So we'll see how that pans out, and that kind of rounds out our day, or really all 3 of our days. We hope you'll stick with us. Thank you for tuning in right now. Coming up next, as I mentioned, is the Final Fantasy 30th Anniversary Program. Stay tuned for the rest of the day. We'll be bringing you all sorts of great content from developers, producers, dev teams, anything you can hope for. Yeah, I think that does it.
Quick reminder.
Oh, that's right.
For those of you guys who want to see some behind the scenes from the show floor and all throughout E3, we'll be posting on our Square Enix social media channel. So go ahead and find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, obviously YouTube and all that good jazz.
YouTube and Twitch and
I'm actually going to be leaving the booth right now to start posting onto those channels. And also, I just want to send a final shout out to the Square Enix Elite members, moderators who are joining us during their free time to help moderate chat, because we know it's going to be crazy with the 10,000-20,000 people who are going to be watching our stream.
That's right. We've got the public here this year, first time.
Yes.
E3. Also, want to shout out to VSonic for hooking us up with some monitors for our show floor. Thank you guys very much. Very helpful. You know, you need monitors to play games.
再见。再见 SE。
还是讲怪猎。
Set us up here, Rich. What are we looking at? Cool. So,
这是怪物猎人
if you
吗？
watched the trailer, you already got a bit of a taste of what the world and the story looks like. So we're gonna kind of go a little bit deeper into the combat system.
SE 好像开始
what
播
makes
片了。
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 special. Right now, we're looking at.
好
I'm
难
gonna
选
do a
啊。
little bit of story stuff, I have to admit. And I'm gonna have Mr. Takahashi do some explanations of the world as we're playing. But before we do this, I want to get into a bit of the combat so that you can get a sense of what's happening. Just,
哇
you know,
，SE 干这个事情我真的是不敢看，绝
right now
了
we're！looking at the two
开始卖洗剪吹30周年的一些周边，开始做起了电视广告。
记住了。 You will see. Let's take a look at them real quick.
你不得不信。
There's Rex. There's Pyra. Hi guys.
真他妈绝了！
So once we get into combat, you'll see it's really only Rex who's doing the fighting. Rex is what's called a driver, and then Pyra is his blade. The blade imbues a character with a weapon, with the ability to fight functionally. So you can see that he pulls out the Aegis blade, and there, I'm going to try to get a better camera angle on them. You can see Pyra is sort of powering him or charging him up. What this allows me to do is on the right-hand side, you'll see the new arts palette. People who've played the
Xenoblade
series will remember the arts palette from previous games. It's been streamlined significantly now. There's 4 buttons on the right-hand side.
真他妈播个原声，
厉害厉害！
As with the previous Xenoblade Chronicles games, attacks are automatic, and with every attack, you'll see I'm building up my arts. You can see around the little diamond. I'm kind of building up my attack power. I now have all of them recharged, and I can trigger an attack. I'm going to launch my anchor shot to pull some HP out. Because honestly, this first battle that I'm doing right here is a little bit on the tough side with just one person here. So I need to pull as much HP as I can. You'll notice my double spinning edge has a side attack bonus. I'm going to try to get around and demonstrate. There, you see that little halo indicates that I was able to get around and pull off the side attack. It's going to be hard to get a back attack on him. Oh, he didn't turn. No, that didn't pull off. But every time I'm doing these attacks, as I'm doing my arts, or as I'm doing my basic attacks, I'm charging my arts. And then as I'm doing my arts, I'm charging up my blade's ability to attack using her power. That's the right hand icon.
没有啊，主角6级啊，看左上角啊。
Pull back and you can see Pyra is charging me up, and I just blasted him, and now he's on fire.
慢慢磨呀，这是。
这是主角对这把剑的爱不够。
让我来。
Right now, I'm just showing you what the like
剑是要保养的
so that I can start layering some additional complexity on. And what, you know, it's a very deep RPG, and I want you guys to be able to understand what I'm talking about here. As I'm going into this next battle, though, I wanted to ask Takahashi-san a question. The first time I heard the name of this game,
这个好像就没有那么硬了。刚刚那个是不是比较强啊
Why is this Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and not a follow-up to Xenoblade Chronicles X or some other suffix?
今回のタイトルを最初に聞いた時ゼノブレイド2というタイトルなんですが、思ったのがなぜ今回は2なんでしょうか。ゼノブレイド X の次のタイトルではなかったんでしょうか。
SE 就是要播那个 FF 组曲。
クロニクス X の場合はかなりオープンワールドをベースにした探索メインのゲームだったんですけれども、今回どちらかというとゼノブレイド1に近い、リニアなストーリードリブンなゲーム性を目指して作ってますので、
它这个异度之刃听音效有点屎啊，就是它那个音质特别屎，不知道是不是推流的问题，听起来好像都没有128K。
这可能是现场混音的。
本来玩那个 NS 就是接底座 TV 模式，它反正就有的时候会爆音，感觉音质都不太行。
要收用的 USB 接个 USB 声卡。
反正就是很屎感觉，不知道为什么。
The graphics look really great already. You can see off in the distance. You can. We'll talk a bit about the world, but you can see how much I have to explore before this demo is over right now. But in the months that we have left in development, we're going to see a lot of polish going on. So bear that in mind as we're playing. Right now, I'm looking out across this field, and up here you see.
这妹子走路的时候是不是身上会有很多物理效果？你看她现在站着不动都已经有很多了。
I want to point out that one thing that makes this game very different from other games is all of the land masses are really.
剑是这样。
You're walking on the back.
剑是这样的。
You fly around on airships or you ride on the backs of Titans, but there's no land mass. Other than perhaps you might be able to see a hint.
好像会有，好像是有一些物理效果。
But we'll be getting into that a little bit later on.
都会动。
Now, Matt, you had a question about this, an observation that you'd made when we were talking.
Yeah, right. So, of course, you see the verticality there, and you just mentioned that these are Titans that we're exploring right now. And in the original Xenoblade Chronicles game, we had two bodies of land, Bionis and Mechonis.
我操，这个
That kind of set up how you explored that game, and it really kind of drew out the story as well. I was wondering for Xenoblade Chronicles 2,
发亮。
how did you go about building this world, and how do the Titans play into it?
ゼノブレイド1では鬼神と巨神っていうところでストーリーが繰り広げられたと思うんですが、今回はどういった形でこの巨神獣っていうのはストーリーに関わってくるんでしょうか。
そうですね。今回は、かなり今までよりもかなりストーリーの根幹に関わってくる。
要播 FF14的片了。
SE 是开始播片了吗？
で今ここに
播个30周年的回顾片。
キリンのような四つ足で歩いてる。
从 FZ 開始回顧。
人型であったり、クジラみたいなやつであったり、いろんな形のアルスが存在しています。でそれぞれがここは今大自然の景観が多いところなんですけども、説明であったりとか、海洋的なもので海みたいなものであったりとか、そういったようなさまざまな景観を今回はいろんなアルスに散りばめて、それぞれ探索して遊んでもらえるような作りになっています。
And so I think you will notice as you play this game that these Titans really play an even more of a core role in the game and the story itself. And as you see here, the Titan you see here is
左上角就是 SE
giraffe-like Titan
在播的东
with
西。
a long neck. But there are Titans that are humanoid form. There's all different kinds of Titans. And each of those Titans have a specific type of landscape that they have on their back. So like you see here, there's, this one has a lot of lush greenery, and you'll see other Titans may have a snowfield, other ones are just water-based. So they all play a different role, and they all have a very distinct existence within this world. And I think that you'll find it fun exploring, and that's really a big part of the story.
Awesome, thank you very much.
Now, I've been holding off on getting into more combat because I want to show off another element of the game. I mentioned that Pyra is Rex's blade, but I actually have another blade with me here, Fudor, and I'm going to conjure forth a new blade. Earlier in the battle, in my very first battle, I picked up this core crystal.
但是 SE 这个音乐吧，配的其实还
I use this
不
core
错。
crystal to pull out new blades. When I summon a new blade or conjure a new blade, they bring with them
我倒是
音乐是不错。
要换一把剑了吗？
你没有男的剑可以。
现在用的这个到底是剑还是枪呢？
剑人啊，换那个猛男啊，赛博牛牛。
该选什么一目了然。
感觉这个好杂鱼啊，那个刚刚那个男的。机甲人好杂鱼。对，可能是抓的什么小怪吧。你看这还有兽娘，是不是？
So as you saw in the menu option there, you had 3 different blades, you know, the beams that came out of the core crystal. And as you explained earlier, Rich, these blades provide power to the driver that they're connected with. And as you see here, there's only 3, but there are actually many different types of blades, and they all take many different forms, and they all have different attributes and skills that they bestow on the driver. And but they all kind of separate into 3 kind of main categories, which is attacker, healer, and tank.
这个红妹就只负责给主角奶。
And playstyle that you have, you can mix and rearrange these blades to really fit your playstyle, and it gives you a lot of freedom into controlling how you play the game. And it's really, and there's a lot of fun to be had in collecting and finding these blades as well.
Now, I've just been slaughtering some herbivores while we were talking there.
为什么这个你看边上那个兽娘，它好像后面也有一个东西在给它奶，每个人都有一个奶妈。
supporting characters, let's say.
好像是一个什么动物，一个猫，大猫。
I added these people to my party in part because Tora is a tank.
你们听这个音效是不是很屎啊？
I got the Field Armu's kid is now angry at
有
me
问题
too. I
啊！
probably shouldn't have attacked Dad.
We can see that he's getting the Argo because of
我
that.
觉得是因为他现场采集的时候
Yeah,
采的
so he's got all of
谁知道什么鬼
that didn't look great. He's got all of the aggression of the enemy centered on him, freeing me up to move around into different positions and pull off some of my side and back attacks. Now, the arts palette in the past has been a fairly complicated menu system to navigate. What seems to be the case in this game now is we've got the arts palette of just a handful of buttons on the right-hand side, but we've also got the blades on the left-hand side. When I swap between blades, I can bring out a new set of arts. So instead of having to navigate any menus, I have all of them at my fingertips. I can just tap the blade that I want to bring into battle, which they're charging up right now. I may kill this guy before I get any blades in here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to swap over to Fudor. I just brought him in. He's got his axe. He comes out with all of his arts ready to go. And you'll see that I have some special abilities that I can use for different.
你看后面变成壮壮，不再是妹子了。 蓝色，
得要用斧头啊。
不知道有没有其他的妹子？
Rex right now
妹
doesn't
子
have
奶。
any. Rex doesn't have any ability to break or topple, so I'm relying on my other characters to do that for me. And they're not really into it right now. But we'll probably knock this guy out and move on to a new battle. But I can chain off of my allies' attacks in order to trigger not just break and topple combos, but also blade combos. I'm sorry, I can't resist grabbing all of the money, all of the loot.
And these combos that you're talking about, it's great that you have everything at your fingertips. It's literally 2 button presses to get to any art. So those combos are kind of hard to set up, and they have to be timed specifically. So it's great to have it so close at your fingertips to get off.
在这个战斗确实看起来挺网游的。
Just oh no, you're so fast. You're like a gazelle.
不过至少你切换那些武器还是很方便。
Yeah, I can just target someone else. Yeah, so if you have your weapon drawn out, you actually travel a little bit.
RPG 也不是要做的多复杂，
I was not going to catch
挺好
that
的。
guy.
飞飞14不也爽吗？
Evolution's been very good to them. So now I've got, let's see, Tora's drawing aggro. Nia is a healer, and so she's doing her healing attacks. She's actually pulling HP for me. Oh, there's a break. I'm not going to charge up Fudor in time to take advantage of that break. Although if there's a topple, I may have a chance.
它上面有个 break 的
I don't think
条。
we're going to get topple off of that. Now, one thing I didn't get a chance to talk about before. He's been launched.
对，感觉有很多
This is. Oh, the launch.
设定在里面。
It's passed. I was going to show off another of the abilities.
是不是还有同伴技？好像都没按。
Because I wanted to talk
左上角那个三段条。
or the blade abilities right now. Nia's using one of her blade abilities, poison, and you can, or actually it was toxin. And now she's poisoned this buffalo.
就队友可以给他上 buff， 使用一些 debuff 技能。
Thank you.
Who I think is new to this, but many people may have seen that there's a lot of classic enemies from the original game too, like Bunnets.
Balufo.
Balufo? I don't know.
Balufo. I'm going to go with that for now. But we'll keep attacking these gentle creatures of the night and see what attacks we can trigger. One thing I'm kind of holding off on for now is I don't necessarily want to go into the main field because there are going to be some things that will kill me, and I'll show you getting killed inevitably.
没有感情。
Another thing I want to talk about is my basic attacks will trigger automatically, of course, but unlike in previous games, if I'm moving, they're not.
都是无情野兽。
Stop and think about where I want to be in order to do my basic attack.
反正等会儿要被打，不算了。
You don't want to move around all the time either, because each automatic attack is a little bit different.
真的被打。
Steps to that, right?
1, 2, 3. So you can see that the basic attack is a combo, and as I'm building up my arts, I can also trigger. You see that little blue ring was me triggering an art off of my basic attack that helps me charge up a little bit faster and may do a little bit more damage.
Right.
I got it again right there.
Yep.
So even though some of the battle may feel very automatic, there are a lot of real-time actions that you're taking in order to build up your arts and to build up your blade abilities as well. I have my flame ability ready right now, and I might as well finish him off with it. Oh, he's already down. I'm sorry, Pyra, that was wasted.
Looks like you got
no, I got somebody else. Sorry, you're just collateral damage, pal. And now you're gone. I'm going to move into some more challenging enemies. The oasis where all of the gentle creatures come for a nice sip of water is maybe not the nicest place I could be. So I'm going to run past a little bit more. There was something else you had.
Yeah, sure. While you're running around here, let me ask Takashi-san. In a lot of your games, you prefix the titles with Zeno. I was wondering, just in general, what does the word Zeno mean to you?
疯狂尬聊。现在是4个人在尬聊。
言葉がよく使われるんですが、そのゼノっていう言葉は高橋さんにとってどういう意味を持っているんでしょうか。
はい、ゼノという言葉自体が異質とか異なるとか、そういった意味が。
我现在用 SC 的这个挡住了它原本的画面。 就是这个啊，还没有它原本的好看，还不如书屋这边吹逼好看呢，太土了。
そういったドラマの部分をゲームの部分にもうまく落とし込めたらいいなと思って常にゼノというタイトルをつけるようにしています。
So the word Zeno really means like something different or something kind of not familiar, and I think in life when we're living, you meet different people and they have different personalities, different backgrounds, and it's the drama between the interaction between those people that create the drama of life. And I thought that it would be great if I can drop that drama into video games, and that's why I add Zeno to a lot of my games.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much.
Now, I went over and attacked this much more ferocious series of Ferrises. And they're pack animals, so they started calling in their buddies, and so this battle's going on a lot longer now. Do a little area of effect, attack, see if I can Is anyone going to be able to topple him though? That's the real question I have.
他都不按
I want to
技
hang out
能
here
的
and see if I can pull a
这个演示。
topple combo out of this.
我终于按了。
Oops, I did that a little bit early, but it was still all right.
你往那开个大看看。
Triggered the chill effect. You can see the chill bars slowly trickling down. If I were to pull off another, oh, down he goes. If I had time to pull off another blade art, you would get a chance to see one of those blade combos. We will have an opportunity to demonstrate that as we get deeper into this level. But for right now, you look big.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you're angry. Oh, good. I don't feel so bad attacking aggressive animals. One thing I want to point out that's really interesting about this take on the Xenoblade, the familiar elements of Xenoblade, in the previous game, for example, you had the ability to identify how aggressive an enemy was and how they would spot you. You could see the little eye to indicate that they had a visual range, or you would see whether they were detecting you by sound. And as I mentioned, more importantly, you could tell if they were aggressive enough to attack you on sight. You don't have that in this game, and it's because you're intended now to learn more about the enemies. Oh, topple. Punch. Oh, too slow.
Oh.
But there's... All right, buddy. There we go. We'll see if we can do it. I didn't get a chance to switch over to Fudor in time to take advantage of that topple. But this time around, you're meant to study the animals. You're meant to study their behaviors and learn through your experiences. You might die along the way. I certainly will. But I'll just use this ability. Just keep firing off abilities to charge up my specials. But you'll learn their behaviors, and you'll learn how to fight them through experience and through repeated death over and over again. I'm going to trigger Tora's Shard ability now. You can see it charging through his support and doing serious knockback. Shard is still in play. If I were to trigger with a complementary ability, again, I would be able to chain off of that. Now, in order to demonstrate some of that, I'm going to start. I'll grab some HP. I already healed up, but, in order to demonstrate that, I'm going to have to head in the direction of town, so I can show you it's not just fighting. There's a fairly sizable town on the back of this Titan. Now, one thing that we talked about earlier is the way in which the setting shapes the lives of the people in this world. In this town, I wanted to ask
我操，好大呀！我操，81级，猩猩王。
Yeah, let's just show you what that
这是
looks
什么
like.
猩猩猪。
I didn't even get my sword out in time. Oh,
我操，认真的，瞬杀惊了。
Very territorial. I've got my party bar charged up a little bit so I can bring Tora back. Oh, just in time to die.
该了。
Now, as I mentioned before, when you die, did I mention this? Who knows? We'll review it on playback. When you die, you are set back to your latest checkpoint. You don't really lose anything in the process, though. So it's like it's educational. I just had a very educational death right there. But I had a question for Takahashi-san about the lives of the people who live on the backs of these Titans in all of these different environments that form up or that form the world of Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
ゼノブレイドの世界を作るいろいろなタイタン、巨神樹に住んでいる人たちについて少しお話しいただけますでしょうか。
はい、今ここにあるアルスは
有些怪物感觉都长得不一样，还挺不错的。
型型のやつなんですけど、ここものすごく、自然景観の豊富な場所で、木材の産業が非常に発達している場所なんですね。で、ここでは割とこうなんていうんですかね。町の人たちもちょっと獣人っぽい人たちが住んでいて、で木工細工であったり何だったりっていうのをなりわいにしている人たちがたくさん暮らしています。でちょっと場所を転ずるともうちょっと軍事大国的なアルスがあったり、そこで暮らしている人たちは軍人が多かったりとか、
住むなんか種族がまあ違うんですよね。
種族もかなりたくさん種族いますので、それぞれのアルスにそれぞれの異なった種族が住んでいて、それぞれがまあこの広大な世界の中で、まあ生きているというか、生存競争を繰り広げている、そんな感じの世界観になっています。
So as you see here, this Titan is called Galmont, and it's the giraffe-like Titan. And as you see, there's a lot of lush greenery and nature. So lumber is a very booming industry in this world. And so once you go into town, you'll see that there's a lot of humanoid characters, people that live there, and they make a living out of doing woodcraft. And but if you go to, say, a different Titan, there are other ones that are more militaristic in nature, and each Titan has a different set of species that live there and have a different lifestyle that they live based on. And this world is created with a lot of diversity in terms of Titans and the species and the lifestyles that everybody has.
You can see there's a bit of a lumber storage yard here.
为什么不能和这个妹子互动呢？什么做不了啊
One other thing I want to point out, you've probably already noticed there's a day-night cycle in the game. We're just fighting our way through a really rough evening. So there is a day-night cycle, there are weather cycles, but because we're in this sea of clouds, basically, this sea also has a tide, and the clouds will rise and fall and ebb and flow with the passage of time, and that rising and falling will access to different areas within the world. So there are places that you'll be able to get to when the tides are low that you can't access when the tides are high. It's another way in which the world itself is informing the design of the game and the look and feel of this world.
Another thing I really liked about the very first game is when it went through those day and night cycles, it kind of had the same theme music, but it changed a little bit depending on when it was, and that's back for this game, and I'm really glad because I love the music of these games.
So we're going to take a quick walk through this town, just so that you can get a sense of the scope of the world and the number of activities there are in each place. And also, I wanted to show you something over here. Again, this is very much a story of Rex and Pyra and his allies, very specifically, and at this point we are... there we are, we're wanted men. We've got mugshots. I don't know where they got those mugshots. And we've got another driver right here who's studying them. He hasn't noticed us yet.
No, not yet.
But why give him a chance?
We noticed him.
Oh, it's you. Hey, wait, you're the guy in the pictures. And you'll notice he has his own blade there as well. And Tora's drawn his aggro, so he doesn't even notice me. Tora didn't even have his own mugshot up there yet, so he may not even understand what this battle's about. Don't turn around.
我们开始狂怒砍人了。
就要抓他们啊，坏东西啊。
对啊。和平解决呀，当街打人多不好。
不仅当街打人，还从人身上抢了32个金币。
这种地方这么多悬崖，是不是？请他去看看风景不好吗？
And if you decide to challenge him, obviously, if you're able to defeat the character, then you
get
great items. But you know, it's a lot of the fun can come from discovering and getting to know these characters and battling with them as well.
Now, one thing before I get too far into the city, I wanted to show off. You don't have direct control over your other party members in a regular combat, but you can swap between them. So I just wanted to swap over to Nia, who's riding on the back of her blade. It's a very themed character. You can see her ears.
好像快了一点点。
So you do have opportunities to swap between the different characters, and I'm going to get into a battle over here. I mentioned that she's a healer. I just want to show you what that looks like with her blade arts.
ニアだけ特別にね、このトラの白虎っていうキャラに乗れるんですけど。
So Nia's got a special
好像还是带个猫比较方便。
叫尼亚。
你要带个妹子，你又不能骑。
那么为什么不能骑妹子呢？
御剑飞行。
被妹子骑你，
just to thin the population.
没有什么区别。
So you can see
看你喜欢怎样。
She's got a full heal art that's super useful. She also has an HP potion art.
是不是 SE 完了呀？怎么感觉什么都没有啊？
And that potion art works really similar to Rex's art.
还在尬吹呀，狂吹。
One other thing that she has, and I'll try to charge.
好歹播个飞飞14的片啊。
Slightly tougher rabbit is she can initiate the break status. So if I can trigger that break, maybe by building up my arts a little bit more, this rabbit might die before I get the break. But here, I'll trigger the ability. You'll at least see the break happen, and then you see once I've triggered break, another character might trigger topple. And then another character might trigger the launch status or other types of status.
Right.
So there's a lot of depth in choosing how you're going to attack, and even choosing who your party lead is going to be. I do want to switch back to Rex, which means I'm going to be dependent on my allies to trigger those abilities for me. Swap blades on the battlefield.
奶妈是一个妹子，红围巾妹，还戴了个帽子。
Show you a little of the architecture, show you a little of the lives of the people. But then before I run out of time, I do want to take on the big bad at the end, so I can show off some of these more challenging moments. And I really, really want to demonstrate some of these combos I've been talking about, because I mean, it's a serious letdown if I tease it the whole way through and then don't actually show it.
And there's a lot going on in this town. That's what I love about the towns in these games. It feels alive, and there's a lot to do. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, just the ambient chatter of people. You can stop and talk to some of the villagers. And build an understanding of the world that you're in. I'm gonna run out here and just show off. I'm gonna take a quick look at this warship over here.
And so we'll obviously, you know, as we work more on the development, we'll obviously be fleshing out and expanding the town and all the activities you can do in these towns and cities.
Oh, that's awesome! I'm looking forward to that.
Here's another Titan here. I was actually worried that they constructed a warship into the body of this Titan.
You're so morbid.
Well, it's just, you know, it just seemed like he's got a lot of stuff on him. But Takahashi-san did reassure me that he is still alive and still functioning. Everybody feel better. I was legitimately worried about this. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna. Oh, that is an enormous windmill. Let's take a look at it. Where is that enormous? Oh, there it is. Way off in the distance. So we're gonna run off. Before I get into this boss battle, though, there's a quick fight with some soldiers. Again, this is tied in very closely to the storyline, the existence of this fort and the existence of these soldiers here. Takahashi-san, would you mind speaking about the soldiers that we're about to run across and their function here?
これから軍人みたいなキャラクターと戦闘が始まるんですが、そこについてストーリーに少しお話しいただけますでしょうか。
そうですね。今ここにいる人たち、兵士たちはスペルビアと呼ばれている国の兵士たちなんですけれども、
帝国兵ですね。
はい。スペルビアのアルスがもちろん別の場所にあるんですけど、今ここのグーラというところを占領している軍隊なんですね。なのであんまりそんなに町の人たち
女主太花瓶了，就像个装备，本来就装备啊。
とはちょっと敵対関係にある勢力になります。
So these soldiers here are actually Imperial soldiers from a different Titan.
最终还有15小黄毛 DLC。
And so the locals aren't really happy about that, and they're kind of in a position where they're kind of enemies of Rex and his party as well. And that's the kind of setup that we have going on here.
We're making short work of them, though, with our party all together.
Yeah.
Their attack rod is all that's left.
打狗了。
Made short work of that crew, which is good because with the time that we have left, that might be enough time to beat or be beaten by this upcoming enemy inside the warship. I do want to stop him. I do need to. Oh yeah, sorry. That's right.
もちろん戦艦にもシームレスに入っていけるっていうのがこのゲームの特徴かなと思います。
I also think one of the great features about this game is that even going into the airship is very seamless. There's no loading and transition. You just go right into it.
Yeah, the airship itself is vast. I mean, this cargo room that we're fighting in is tremendous.
ここだけでお見せするってことになるんですけど。
All we can show is this section, but it really is massive.
今回のライブ用に用意したちょっと専用のボスっていうところ楽しんで。
哇，小黄毛真的是射击游戏耶，惊了！还用 AR 的。
这个越野版的这个车呀，居然还是敞篷的。
是的。
一身的泥。
它这个越野车还能飞哦。
And do some of the things that I'm more used to doing. You know, this is sort of my standard starter strategy for building up my arts, building up my.
它这一回这个最终幻想15的 E3宣传片啊，就是讲了整个 FF15世界的这些东西，各种什么电影啊、动画片啊、手游啊这些。
钓鱼啊，
本片的东西，还有新的 DLC 啊什么的。
Attack once I get to level 3, I think.
然后还表示在天蝎上很强，对天蝎有一个支持。然后还有 VR 钓鱼，整个 FF15系列的东西。
Topple him. Somebody topple him. It may not happen now, but it will happen.
And the other one is the one that we previously touched on, the blade combo, which really makes these boss battles a lot of fun, and you have to think about your strategy a lot if you want to get them done either fast or even like a.
还有雪地车哎，小黄毛。
ドライバーが放つ物理系の格闘コンボっていうと、ブレード側が放つ属性コンボっていう2種類ありますので、これ両方合わさったりするとかなりダメージが。
没什么东西。
そういった遊びの楽しみもあります。
And like you were saying, Matt, as you were saying, there's the
blade
combo and the arts combo. And arts
就
combo
这个小黄毛的片段
is really
可以开镜
damage,
打
whereas
人
blade combo has a little bit of a more
就直接变成一个 TPS 游戏
elemental attribute to it that makes
可以
the
拿
gameplay a lot
突
more,
击
as you
步
were
枪
saying,
AR
strategic
射
and
人。
interesting.
Yeah, you'll notice that Pyra is fire themed, while Fudor here is water themed.
主播今天那个胖子没来连麦嘛？胖子已经睡了。
Topple him. There it is. And launch. Do the launch. Do the launch. Yes. Oh, yes. I love the visuals on that one. It's just hilarious to send him flying, and it does.
现在还没有到伊格尼斯 DLC 吧？
But for my blade combo, it
下一个是小黄毛的。
It isn't Fudor that I want. Although if I can get him toppled again, I'm gonna go for the strong smash. I'm at level 2. If you look in the right-hand corner, he's not toppled this time. I'm at level 2 on my arts. Oh, but he's broken again.
下个好像是最后幻想纷争。
level 3, and to do that, I am going to need to keep using my arts, even if they're not necessarily the most appropriate art for that moment.
就算是，也许也会是尬聊形式的。
We're going to want Kirim for this combo, if I remember correctly.
Blade combo.
A little bit more of a charge.
So,
制作人拿出来采访。
switch over to Pyra, who's ready, because I can pull off some more HP. Get my arts going. I'm not going to worry too much about trying to do the breaks and topples right now, because I really want to race my way to the level 3 art or the level 3 blade ability.
And something that people can look forward to is the launch is not even the end of the combo. There's more after that. So
yeah, it's just that's the end of what we have at our disposal right now.
Oh, and ready to go.
We got toppled. Okay, I'm ready to go. Going to switch over to Kirim so that all my blades are in place. Thank you for the heads up on that. I'm so caught up in the battle. So we're going to fire off with Toxin first. You'll see that Toxin hits. Did it hit? Are you hitting? You hit. And now you look on the right-hand side. The bar is going down. I've got two basically three options I can follow. I'm going to hit Virus next, which takes us to the next level on that tree option. And then I need to pay attention here because there's a little bit of action on my part. When Plague is ready, that virus is ticking down. I trigger Blade. I've got 3. Boom.
Okay. All right.
I think I might have done it. Did I do it? Am I okay? Are we here?
Oh, wow.
Are we comboing? I think we're comboing.
That looks like a lot of damage.
So you can see the amount of strategy that you have to put into building up those combos, but when you do it, it's really satisfying.
Oh, man, it feels so good.
And having pulled off that combo, I might actually have a little bit more time than I'd expected on this.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I can kind of chill out and relax and unwind, get a cup of tea, switch back to Pyra, pull some HP because we are actually starting to suffer just a little bit. He's got Tora cornered. He's got him boxed in. Like, buddy, no. And there he goes.
Tora's not even on the floor anymore.
There it is. So that's it. With the effective use of both my topple effects and my blade arts, we were able to hew our way through him. I'll just take a few moments to walk back out, let the murk clear, and walk into the cool night air. As we're taking one last walk through the town, I wanted to know if there's anything else that Takahashi-san wanted gamers to know about in anticipation of this title.
ではボスを倒してもう終わりの方に近づいてるんですが、ゲーマーの皆さんに対して高橋さんが
卡住了
伝えしたいものっていうのはありますでしょうか？
はい。
没有。
没有。害怕吗？
搞得有点懵。
SE 在聊天，其实 SE 没在聊天，SE 一直在播音乐而已。
哦，听到。
这是艺术。
原来我没有卡。
聊天是左上角那3个人的。
楽しかった探索要素であるとか戦闘の要素であるとかっていったものと、ゼノブレイド1にあったストーリーを追っていくリニアな楽しさ。
真的是说吹完一段就要开始放歌是吗 ？SE
是，刚才也是这样。
什么都有，就是没偏。
X が好きな方々も楽しんでもらえるようになってますので、ぜひ遊んでみてください。
So, like we just saw Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And so the past title, Xenoblade Chronicles X, was, compared to that, I think the development time, we've been able to develop it quickly, but also it was because we have the environment set up after developing Chronicles X, so we were able to do this and building this game on top of it, that our system,
真的歌挺好。
边上怪多了，弹幕就开始秒了。
Joy of exploration and a battle from Chronicles X, but it also has the joy story-driven narrative that's
尼尔是不是年度音乐游戏？年度最佳音乐。
So I really hope that fans of both series will be able to really enjoy it and have fun with this game.
Great, thanks very much. There's one last note I wanted to make, just in case anybody had any curiosity or questions about this. If you've seen the trailer, you know that the game.
P5 又不是今年的游戏，而且我觉得尼尔比 P5 强。
English has not been dropped into this build yet, so you're hearing a lot of Japanese. Obviously, that's not final, but public edition.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
あと2週間時間があれば全然英語にトランスレートして。
So close. Well, I think that'll about wrap it up for us. Thank you everyone for joining us to take a look at Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And we'd like to thank our special guests, Takahashi-san and Yokota-san. Up next, we have Mario.
Hello and welcome to another Square Enix Presents segment. Today we are here to talk about the City of Final Fantasy NT, and we have some very special guests with us today. My name is Matt Kishimoto, and I work on the marketing team here at Square Enix. And so let's introduce who we got in the booth today. So to the far side is Mr. Takeo Kujiraoka, who is the director. And then to his side is Mr. Ichiro Hazama, who is the producer. And to my immediate side is Miss Eileen Matsuoka, who will be translating. Hello.
Hi.
Translator extraordinaire. So we're very, very excited to be here today. E3 just started. Kujiraoka-san, Hazama-san, how's your E3 going so far?
E3 はいかがですか？
始まったばっかりだからね。まだこれからじゃないかな。今のところ楽しくなりそうな感じがするっていうか、お客さんがもうすでに私有台にいっぱい並んでくださってて、それがもう見てるだけですごいハッピー。
左下角那一排好像是乌贼娘的演示吧。
试玩机吧，它这个是试玩的那个区域。人挤人。
不输于
就跟今年核聚变一样，我操，太满了。
で皆さんねどんどん遊んでくれてるようなので、それに関しても嬉しく思いますし、ちょっと楽しみたいなと。インタビューばかりですけど。
So this is actually my first time at E3 in LA. So
I'm
actually very excited to just be here and being in this atmosphere. And I
在兽人经理2017看嘛。
As well, so I really want to enjoy E3. But we are unfortunately in interviews most of the day.
至少比 SE 干
We'll find some time to have some fun on the show floor.
现场吸人，我靠！
走します。Alright, so today the title of the segment is 101 and then a one-on-one with the producer. So what we wanted to do today is kind of take you through the bare basics of the
把这个声音闭了，太丢人了。
兽人骑乘
And they've got to have better vegetation, and we want them to be more detailed, and everything has to be able to set on fire, and there's massive fortresses in them with hundreds of guys, and we want to vary them all depending on what tribe it is.
Yeah.
And, you know, instead of just going, you guys are complete lunatics, pissed off, they actually...
哇，好帅啊！兽人经理，惊了，还有多拉贡的，
有场景破坏的话就。
And you're approaching the fortress. My fortress might be
owned by
the Mystic tribe, so that land is going to look completely different between the two of us.
Yes.
So really, instead of
兽人经理好爽啊，还可以欧拉的。
On top of customization with each tribe, so you just invariable number of different things to see.
Yeah, it's the same approach that we took with the orcs themselves, of having this additional layer of behavior, personality, and visuals that are going to let everyone experience their own unique story. I mean,
I really appreciate that, because I mean, it was specifically at IGN, we would come in and we'd have conversations around the last game about who we were sort of beefing with, like who in the game hated us the most, like what they hated specifically. I had a lot of guys that didn't like bees, so I specifically put bees at many people. Big fan of that.
And that's been blown out too, right? Like the weaknesses, the strengths, the fears, all of that stuff.
The personality, the identity. We've added rivalries, so there's particular orcs who will be rivals with each other. That'll come out when they meet. Blood brothers, who will have these kind of connections to each other, and if one of them dies or is promoted, that will affect the other orcs. So there's all just these new types of relationships and stories, and then there's all the dialogue to support all of those stories and remember it. And then there's the fact that the orcs, they don't just get given their personality or their identity when they're created. They can actually evolve and learn as they go through the game. So the trophy hunter might have acquired that title because he successfully killed
在天空盘旋等待被骑
or a drake, which it seems to be right in right now.
These are a really nice way to cruise around and just get a bit of a sense of the open world. See one of the outposts there as well.
It's so gorgeous.
Yeah, this is really cool. This is giving us a really good idea
of
what this whole universe is.
So I think that was one of the big questions of the first game, right? Or leading from the first game into the second game is you have the fortresses, you have the story missions.
我操！不要了就直接给他剁了，绝了！我操！
Yeah, that's like imagine that's like if you did that to an Uber driver. That's horrible. He couldn't have just landed it and got off.
什么素质啊！用完就扔。
So we're coming up on a fortress right now. Do you want to explain sort of quickly what this is?
Absolutely. So we can see the fortresses. It's a feral stronghold. We can see the Overlord is the guy at the top, and for each Overlord and War Chief defending the fortress, who's he? The biter. Oh, they've had to actually put a muzzle on this guy.
Because he was fighting people.
Yeah, he was fighting other orcs. He needed to be muzzled. Not a good trait in an Overlord.
I like how you take these like they're almost like mental patients, and they're very rudimentary and very disgusting. But then they have this highly advanced intellectual system with these.
Yeah, they're not stupid at all.
They just look that way.
Yeah, they're just exaggerated. They're just certain sort of human psychological traits kind of turned up to 11.
马里奥路易记什么啊？3DS 的吗
I really like the way you put it when we spoke at your studio in Kirkland. You were saying that a lot of the influence for some of these orcs came from like iconic supervillain.
路易吉为什么那么惨？
因为马里奥知道他会原谅他。
真的，路易吉全都是干最惨的事情。
很真实。
Well, that's fantastical.
That is fantastical.
So as you just saw, we're here today to take a look at Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions. Now, we'll get to that plus in just a bit.
Okay.
Start with the classics.
不知道怎么看着就像没穿鞋一样。
So for anybody who's not aware, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga is a classic Game Boy Advance game.
是不是本来就没穿了？确实是没穿吧。
Most notably,
我看到他有个鞋跟啊。
and a brand new mode.
鞋跟是粘在袜子上。
Yes, absolutely. And so first, we're going to
好像是没穿哦。
talk to Huhuros. Now, he's kind of an odd fellow. He requests that I prove myself by doing a spin jump minigame. really, who am I to disagree? So here we go. But as I jump in here, I just want to explain a little bit of the story without giving away spoilers for anybody who hasn't played the game. Basically, Princess Peach, his voice has been stolen, and Mario and Luigi, gentlemen that they are going to travel to the Bean Bean Kingdom to try and get it back for her.
此时直播有5个方的屏幕，画面可以看。
有料。
It is a tricky challenge, but you know what? I'm not going to let this guy intimidate me. That's what he's trying to do.
So if you didn't play the original Mario and Luigi games, this might be new to you. That there's the Mario and Luigi have these various cooperative moves they do by hitting each other with hammers.
好帅啊，还是滑铲减速的。
Yes, and you actually control Mario and Luigi with different buttons, so they can actually move around and jump around separately. And that plays into the battle. Let us begin.
I'm really excited that people get to experience this game again. It's been a long time since it originally came out.
Yeah.
It really has, and I want to point out the graphics here. It's the same pixel artwork from the original game.
SC 在干嘛？在人际交流。
在聊天。
But 3D lighting has been added to the pixel art to really bring.
憋了1年了，这可得好好聊聊。
So beautiful in this version.
And those animations are crucial to the gameplay itself.
无话不谈的好朋友。
About who's about to be attacked first and that sort of thing.
听了几句，好像在谈什么